and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that KG Outlaw, the guy with a new album this week. Check out the new Waylon Jennings album. It is the weekly purchases, and a big week of weekly purchases, a lot of pickups this week, a lot of stuff through the door. A little overwhelming. I've talked about this. I've had it in the question of the week, and my wife will be here for the question of the week in a little bit. But I've had it. Kyle, do you ever get overwhelmed about the amount of stuff that comes through? Personally, right now, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. We've been trying to dig out of our hole from San Diego Comic-Con. On top of that, my day job, yes, this isn't my day job. I got a very long week, every single week day job, has been taking a little bit longer than normal. So I'm getting a little bit backed up. I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed. That's what's going on here. But we power through because at the end of the day, how bad do you want it, Kyle? How bad do you want it? And I want it all like a young queen. And what all is, I'm not exactly sure. But we got a lot of videos to come on the channels, of course, both YouTube channels. The next few weeks, there's always 4 videos a day, even more on Patreon, YouTube. You guys know how that goes. But a lot of content and a lot of stuff to unbox out of all this. But we'll get to it all eventually. Stick with me. Stick with me. That's what I'll say. But I also will say, got to thank our friends over there at jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Thanks to them for sponsoring the weekly purchases this week. And if you want to sponsor weekly purchases, hit up TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. You guys know the drill by now. Got a lot of stuff from Jay's as well to talk about in weekly purchases. So a lot going on, a lot of stuff here and there. I wouldn't have it any other way, though. It's good to be busy than not busy, I guess. But we are in the spooky season, trying to find a Halloween costume. My wife, Angie, she's working on her Halloween costume. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Stay tuned to the Kyle Peterson Show podcast every single Tuesday, where podcasts are found, videocasts on YouTube. We talk about the Motorhead Cruise this Tuesday, or right now for Patreon YouTube channel members. 10 years ago, we were lost at sea. There was prayer circles going around. We were stuck in the Bermuda Triangle. It was a wild time. Check out that story on the podcast. Check out the podcast each and every week, of course, as well. Nothing else really to talk about. I got a few notes here. Nothing really except for giveaways. And we're doing something special this month. It is October. And I think I said maybe last week, maybe it was in the podcast, wherever. But I got a lot of stuff that's piling up. Now, I'm going to give a lot of this stuff to Toys for Tots. But I figured, you know what? I'm going to give some back to everybody else. So we do got giveaways going on. So the Patreon giveaway, the month of October, it is Sting, Supreme Edition. Makes sense. Halloween, face paint, Sting. This is the October Patreon giveaway. So head over to Patreon. But in a plot twist, there's another Patreon giveaway, and some people know this, some people do not. You can sign up to be a free member of the Patreon. Yes, you can get the other tiers, but you can sign up to be a free member. If you sign up for the Patreon in the month of October, your name will be in the hat for this giveaway here. You can be a free member, a paid member, doesn't matter. Check out the Patreon link in the description below, but one winner will win a Halloween bundle. That's what they're going to get. Nosferatu Ben Cooper Kid, the Ultimate Gremlin, and Frankenberry. All these will go to one winner if you sign up for the Patreon the month of October. Once again, you can be a free member and you will count towards the entrance. So get after it. Get after it. That's what I'm going to say. But that's all I have to say for housekeeping. Now it's time to bring in my wife. It's time for the question of the week. All right, it's time for question of the week. And we've got the buxom Angie. Angie, say hello. She's back again here today, of course, getting ready. Angie, you ready to run some errands later? Are we going to leave the house?
Sure.
What's our plan? What's our plan? I don't know what our plan is either. I can't cook
tonight. I'm tired.
She's too tired to cook. Woman, you need to cook and clean and do other things later. That's what women do.
You're the one that needs to clean.
Oh,
I've got vacation to get this house in order.
I've got a disaster in this basement right now. I've had
the basement, whole dang house.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I do need to clean up and move and reorganize. I've been so busy with my day job, as I've said. I got to put this stuff away. So I got just piles of figures everywhere.
I feel like we haven't been right since San Diego Comic-Con.
It hasn't. You're exactly right. And that's what I've said on the channel is so much stuff came in the month of San Diego Comic-Con. It's hard to keep track of. I had like a little bit of a lull, and then you're going to see in this week's weekly purchases even more stuff. So it's a little overwhelming, Angie, a little overwhelming. And I'm not a guy that gets overwhelmed very often, but here we are.
Here we are. Need to start taking your ashwagandha again. Or whatever.
My ashwagandha? Maybe. Who knows? I'll take some kind of pills, and I'll be up all night like a young Rhonda Shear. Who knows? But here we are with the question of the week, Angie, but in a very fun morning that I had. I told you about this earlier. So fortunately, unfortunately, it's nice to be employed.
I got an itch here. I keep going for it.
You got an itch? Oh, scratch that figure itch is what it is. But what was I saying?
This morning you were telling me something.
Yeah. So this morning, as I usually do on Saturday mornings, that's where I'm filming this today. Of course, every Saturday morning you start your day with a little oatmeal, a little bit of Monster Energy, and then you sit behind the computer doing your work for your day job. And that's what I do every Saturday, Sunday. I put about 2 hours in, just trying to keep up on stuff. It's the life I live. And of course, some complaints coming in today, so I had to take care of it. And I actually called one of our managers local, and he said, I'll get to it. I'll do it later. But I'm right now in line at Buffalo Wild Wings.
He was doing some very serious business.
He was. Well, it's Saturday. He shouldn't be working just like me, but here we are. But he said, I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings. They're opening a new location here today at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. And it's literally like 10, 15 minutes from our house, something like that. And he goes, yeah, first 100 people get wings for free for a year. So I'm looking, I'm like, what's the line look like? And he said, there's probably about 50 people there. And I'm like, it's only an hour till it opens. I said, I'll go sit there and wait an hour in line to get wings free for a year. It's 6 wings free each week of the year is what it is. So I said, I'll wait an hour. So I brought my iPad and I did some editing of some videos for that hour. And I talked with him for a little bit. And I waited. And Angie, I'm just saving us money left and right. I got free wings for a year. So now something happens. We can't buy groceries. We can at least get 6 wings each week. We'll have to portion them out one wing a day basically. And then Sunday we'll fast. We'll fast. But that's only for me too. You won't have any food, unfortunately.
We just basically get one bite.
One bite, everybody knows the rules, as they say. And speaking of that, Dave Portnoy, the pizza king of the United States, I'm the pizza king of my state. He was actually right around the corner from our house the other day filming. I should have walked over there. And he was just here, just right down the street. But enough food talk. And that's what's been on our podcast the last couple of weeks. It's all been about food, not enough about milk.
We're hungry.
Yeah, who knows? But there's been a lot going on. Including question of the week here, Angie. And it's where you shine each week here. And if you want to...
Do I really?
Do ya? Does she? But of course, if you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments down below. But, my day is made. I got free wings for a full year. What have you done today? Nothing. That's right. Nothing. But Angie, take it away.
Keeping your shelves full.
Keeping it. You should be emptying my shelves out, if you know what I mean. But Angie, feel free to take it away with the question of the week.
All right. TB Toycast.
Good friends of the channel. TB Toycast. Make sure you check them out each and every week. Their podcast as well. And YouTube channel. There you go.
If you had to fancy book the Mattel LJN line Wave 3, which 4 characters would you include?
Oh, it's easy for me. I know right off the bat, the Bushwhackers got to be in there. Of course, Mattel does have the rights to the Bushwhackers. They were supposed to be part of the LJN line once upon a time. That makes all the sense in the world. So get us the Bushwhackers. After that, I would normally say Brother Love. However, I'm going to do a plot twist. Put Brother Love, Angie, in Series 4. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. I knew you would. But the other 2, I'm going to go for something a little bit different. I'm going to go to 2 brothers named Rick and Scott. You know them.
Animal?
They don't do drugs and they are always on top. You know those 2? It's the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner. And I want classic NWA, early NWA, WCW Steiner brothers. Almost feels like it could almost fit in that era. Maybe a little bit late, but not terribly late. Would love to see that. We need more classic Steiner brothers from Mattel. I would love to see them in LJN style. I think that would be absolutely amazing. And then, of course, the Bushwhackers. So make 2 tag teams. Now, personally, I don't think the Bushwhackers are going to sell very well. Maybe they'd have to make that a Mattel Creations exclusive. But no matter which way you slice it, Angie, and we got to do it for my dad. He's only got, 50 years left to live. So we got to somehow get him the Bushwhacker LJNs because he's a Bushwhackers guy through and through. You might as well call my dad New Zealander, that's for sure. But we need the Bushwhackers, and I would love to see the Steiners. So that's what I want to see in the next one. But I would love to see Brother Love as well. So if they could mix him in somehow, I'd be here for that. But that's what I'm looking for. But Angie, this wasn't necessarily directed at me. It could have been directed at you. So who did you want to see in the line?
I don't have an opinion.
You said, I don't even know. You said 4 Ultimate Warriors, different face paints. I agree with that. I'm okay with that. That works for me.
I'm looking at the wall. I'm like, do I even know 4?
No, do you even know 4 wrestlers? I don't know.
I do, obviously.
How about that lady at the grocery store this week? And I'll talk about that a little bit more in weekly purchases. But she was
weird.
She was a pistol, as they say. But I got my figure for free, and she thought I looked like Nathan Frazier, and she thought I looked like Jason Momoa. Yeah, she wanted me.
She
bad.
doesn't get out much. Just any long-haired person.
Just any long-haired guy with a beard. Well, Jason Momoa, in her defense, is from down the road from us. So he's from the area. So maybe. And he was in that grocery store not too long ago either. So I'm sure.
As we're leaving, she's like, ma'am, you're beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, she just
gave me a pity.
Yeah, after she was just talking about my great looks, my great beard, everything else. And I think she said, Miss, you look like you need to have a banana, is what she looked like. And you guys can find out more about Angie and her banana story on the podcast this week. So make sure you check out that, or right now for Patreon YouTube channel members. But there it is, Angie. That's the question of the week. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So there it is. Now it's time, Angie. It's time for round 1 of weekly purchases. All right, time for round number 1 of weekly purchases, possibly 3 rounds this week. There's a lot going on, but we're going to dive into it here. And first, I got to send. All right, we got, I think, maybe 3 rounds of weekly purchases, a massive, massive week, but we're going to dive into it here. And first, got to give a special shout out to Ron. Ron sent me a nice letter, sent me a little care package. He said, sorry it took so long to get these pins to you. I have added a few extra WWF stuff. So he apparently used to work or run a video store. Of course, remember those video stores back in the day? But he sent some of the stuff he had clanging and banging around. And here's a WrestleMania 7 pin. Hulk Hogan on there. Very cool. And this one going straight on my work bag. It is the Ultimate Warrior, WWE Champion, forever in our hearts, as we know. And then these cool Coliseum video little cards, I guess. Maybe they come along, a little postcard action. We got Bret the Hitman, the Heart. We got Kona Crush. How about that? Check out Kona Crush. We got 2 brothers named Rick and Scott. You might know them as the Steiner brothers. The Undertaker and Macho Man Randy Savage. So some cool old school postcards from the old days in the WWF, of course, looking very nice. And then a fan top 10 list. I guess they said, tell us the top 10 things you would want to experience within the World Wrestling Federation. Read the possibilities. Very cool to see this. On the back, meet Vince McMahon is number 1. You check what you'd like to do. Meet and receive autographs of superstars. Visit backstage. Operate a camera. Interview your favorite wrestler. Receive a World Wrestling Federation Superstars memorabilia. Become fan of the year. Attend a special appearance of superstars. Escort your favorite superstar into the arena. Could I do Ultimate Warrior? Manage your favorite wrestler in his corner at a live event. Interview a favorite wrestler. Become a wrestler and develop your own character. Ring the bell at a live event. So many options right here. So a cool little piece and moment in time. And then look at this. We got the Ultimate Warrior. And it looks like there might be some others. There is. I don't know if I should open this up. There's a bunch of the old school Toys R Us. Remember Toys R Us would give these away? I remember as a little kid, like, oh my gosh, they're giving Ultimate Warrior autographs away. Obviously, it's not autographed officially here, but it's a whole stack still in the cellophane here. So I probably shouldn't open that up. Very cool, though. I got to thank Ron for sending that my way. Very cool. We'll add that to my collection, no doubt. But now we're going to dive into it. We're doing wrestling heavy for round number 1 here. We're going to start it with bone-crushing wrestlers, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. Watch out, Steiner Brothers. Another brother team on your heels. We got that figure collection bone-crunching style. We also got, I ordered 2 of these here. Of course, the Ultimate Warrior mid-on-card completist and a loose completist. I got 2 of this set. We did unbox this on the channel this week, so if you missed out on the Mattel Creations exclusive 4-pack, check out the unboxing on the channel. 2 of those sets through the door this week. And in a cool plot twist here, we know how hard these main events are to get. Well, my wife and I were doing a little grocery shopping. I think it was Thursday this week. What is time once again? Went to the grocery store. They just put a brand new toy aisle in, had a couple of fresh cases of main event style figures. And who was sitting there? The Chase Nathan Frazier. So I needed this in my collection. Very cool to have my local grocery store carrying these. Now, the problem is they're not going to sell any of these. That's the big problem. So what's going to end up happening is they're just going to sit on the same stock forever. But at least I got one figure out of it. And then in a second plot twist, the grocery chain has a new policy where if it doesn't ring up, it's free. Well, do you think this ran up? No, it did not. So it was free. And then, of course, the lady that was checking us out was an older lady, a very nice lady. And she said, is this you? Is this you? She thought I was Nathan Frazier. She's like, you look just like him. You look like a wrestler. I know wrestlers, of course. I'm like, oh, here we go. Bulldog Bob Brown. That's what it always is. But no, she was from Minnesota, Lake Minnetonka. Beautiful this time of year, as we know. She was from Minnesota, and I guess her brother was the same age as the Legion of Doom, One Hawk and Animal, and she told the story how they came to her house for Thanksgiving. So she was around that whole Minnesota group, the Barry Darsos, the Rick Rudes, and all that. So she was telling me the whole story, and she said she hated those LOD boys. They were terrible. I said, well, you know they died, and she said, good. They were bad guys. And I was like, geez, come on, lady. But anyway, she thought I was Nathan Frazier, and she said I was very handsome. So she was hitting on me right in front of my wife. And I did get her number, thankfully, but did get Nathan Frazier, and I got it for free in a plot twist. We're here for that. We're here for Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump Ultimate, already unboxed on the channel. Check out the video if you missed it. Got my second Undertaker. Actually, I forgot to cancel my pre-order, but I did get Undertaker from Target, at Target right now if you need one. Got that going on. Another one we already unboxed on the channel this week, Cody and Brandy Rhodes. We did the unboxing of that one. Check it out. So trying to stay on top of a lot of this stuff as best I can. Not easy in this day and age. Ringside Collectibles has a special order come in. Top Pick City, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. I'm kind of excited about this Randy Orton as it does look different than our traditional Randy Ortons. I like the bright red on him. So 2 new top picks through the door this week as well. But the hits keep on coming like a young Mike Nesmith. It's time to go to Elite Series 121. Got CM Punk right there. Got to have that. Got Alba Fire. First time in the line. How about that? We're ready for that. Looking good. We got Oba Femi. Very excited for Oba Femi. One of my favorites from NXT. Probably soon Raw and SmackDown. Austin Theory, last time in the line. Sometimes you get those first time in the line. Sometimes you get last time in the line. That's what we got with Austin Theory. The hits keep on coming with Gunther. A favorite of mine, but a little plain Jane. Feel like we've been here before. Got Gunther going on. And last for this round, the return of Carmelo Hayes to the Elite line. So there's round number 1 of weekly purchases. Let's do round number 2. Whoa, stop the clock. Future Kyle popping in here with a couple of late breaking pickups, part of this week's weekly purchases. Almost forgot these as I did pick these up at Jay's Toys and Games this week. Available right now and 15% off. We do got Scorpion, Mortal Kombat. We do got Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat. We got Liu Kang and we got Katana as well. Series 1 of the brand new McFarlane Mortal Kombat line. What the heck am I doing with my life? Now, if you guys remember, longtime viewers of the channel, I had the original Mortal Kombat McFarlane figures, and I did it that so hard to say goodbye. Here we are rebuying some of that stuff. But I will say I did unbox all those. I did display them. I did review them. I got my enjoyment out of them. I sold them. I sold them for more money than I paid for them. And now the vicious cycle starts all over again here with this series. Not going to go crazy into the repaints and stuff. At least that's what I'm saying right now. But very cool seeing the new shiny toys at Jay's. I couldn't resist, so I did pick these up. Last thing, part of weekly purchases, at least for now, I did get a frame for this one. Shout out to my wife, Angie. It is my poster from Hanging with Dr. Z. You guys know my love of Dr. Z. I was so happy to see his live show finally. He did autograph this poster for me. It does say, Kyle, stay groovy. And ever since he signed that, guess what? I've been 100% groovy each and every single day. So a little late breaking, whoa, stop the clock, weekly purchases. All right, time for round number 3 of weekly purchases. Let's dive into it. And let's start out with our friends at jaystoysandgames.com. Of course, I use discount code Kyle, save 15%. Emma Frost, X-Men 97, the last piece I was missing. Picked her up there at Jay's. $23.99 for this one on the website, and then you can save 15% on top of that. Got to get a deal, boys. Check that out over there at jaystoysandgames.com. Use code Kyle, save yourself 15%. Also got this guy for $11.99 at Target. I've been wanting to get another set of these to display both looks. Well, Target clearance event of a generation going on right now. They only had Lion-O, but I did pick this one up, so I will use that a little differently than the last one. Also found Spikor, the brand new one from Target. I should probably be a waiter on this one. Should probably play the long game. I bet you he'll be $9.99 eventually. But Spycore, a part of the Sketch Edition, I guess we'll call it. Target exclusive, hitting Target stores right now. And then, speaking of Target stores right now, how about Bumblebee Armor Man-at-Arms? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with my life with this one. Devil and the Angel on my shoulder. I really didn't want to collect this line, but then I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I do like Man-at-Arms. Oh, I do like Transformers. Weak moment, it got me. Oh, it got me good. So I did pick that one up. And then I did get from Mattel Creations this week, like a lot of people did, She-Ra in Swiftwind. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Mondo one. This one will have to do Origin style. Got this one through the door this week. But now we're moving over to this pile here, and it feels like it should be Yojo June. I guess it's Yojo October. Not exactly sure, but we already unboxed this one on the channel. It is the G.I. Joe Police Officer. Check that one out. Great to have police officers in the G.I. Joe line so they can arrest that dastardly child molester, Todd McFarlane. Yes, we found out the sick truth about one Conrad Hauser. Check out the video, of course, but we did arrest Duke in that video. We also got the Desert Scorpions. We did unbox this on the channel. Very cool to get that one through the door. Now, here is an interesting one, and I've had this discussion before on the channel. Whenever I would find an AEW Chase figure back in the day, people would accuse me of bringing it into the store. They say, oh, he brought it into the store, put it up there to film a video. Come on, you think I got that kind of time? You think I'm going to do that? What happens if they say, hey, sir, you can't take that? Well, long story, but I brought this in to film a phony video. I'm not doing that. You guys should think better of me. But apparently some people do not. But people would accuse me of that. Well, I got that again this week as I did post this one on my social media. And everybody's saying, oh, he got it sent to him from Hasbro. Well, I wish Hasbro would send me G.I. Joes. And Hasbro, I am not against it. If you want to start sending me all the G.I. Joe stuff, I will gladly accept it. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. But people accuse me of Hasbro sending this to me and me taking it to a store. To some people saying it was just sent by Hasbro when you can look around the picture. I'm in a Walmart store. And guess what? I document my fig hunt. So you'll be able to see it next week's fig hunt. You'll see me finding it. What did I find? Well, the Ghost Viper and Direwolf. Now this goes up for pre-order, part of Walmart Con this coming Thursday, Friday. What is time? What is day is once again. So believe me, I was shocked to see this in store. Hasbro moving a lot of stuff up. Your mileage may vary, but you may be seeing this over the next couple of weeks in your local Walmart store. But this is not AI. This is not CGI. I had people saying it's AI. He doesn't really have it. Well, I don't know. You can trick anybody with AI this day and age. But I think most people watching this believe this is actually in my hands. I don't know. I don't know how to prove it to you, but it is true. But we will unbox this probably tonight on the channel. Very excited about this one. Not excited about the $60 price point. Absolutely ridiculous. As I've said, a lot of these new price increases, pricing a lot of people out of collecting. I'm fully aware I buy more figures than the average Joe or Jane out there. But I also cut back. Like I said, had to dial back Mondo, had to dial back a few other things. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And I have That's So Hard to Say Goodbye coming to Patreon very soon. I'm getting another big part of my collection going away, and it's part of these price increase, part of what's going on right here. So you get this one through the door. And the hits keep on coming. I already unboxed this one as well. Mercer Sergeant Slaughter 2-pack, another fun set here. Did get those unboxed. So a lot of Joes coming. And actually, as I'm filming this right now, Hasbro should be delivering me another Joe set. So stay tuned for that, I guess is what we'll say. Speaking of Joe sets, let's keep the party going. Snake Armor. Unboxed that as well on the channel. Check out the Snake Armor video. Also got, of course, Hawk and the MMS. Unboxed that already on the channel. Man, a lot of stuff through the door this week. And then Gargantos. Already unboxed him on the channel as well this week. So a lot of stuff through the door. I think I mentioned in weekly purchases last week that a lot of stuff was showing up on like Monday and Tuesday. And that's exactly what happened. Just missed last week's weekly purchases. So I got after these things at night after I was working because I knew there was so much stuff to get on. Had to keep above it all. Had to keep on top of it. Just like I like to try to keep on top of Elvira. Oh, it's tough to do though, but I did get this one. Of course, Toonie Terror's Elvira. Perfect for the Halloween season. Trying to do 31 Halloween horror unboxings this month between both channels. Not sure if it's going to be possible. We're going to try my hardest. Kyle Peterson 2.0 is going to have a lot of them, a lot of different NECA stuff. So make sure you subscribe to that second YouTube channel. A lot of stuff going on over there. And here's two of them that will be a part of that. Once again, save 15% over there at Jay's. Did get another Michael Myers here. The Curse of Michael Myers. Of course, never forget Halloween. And then never forget Halloween again. 20 years later, another Michael Myers. So I got a lot of Michael Myers and Jason figures from NECA to unbox, so I got to get around to all those, hopefully this Halloween season. Stay tuned to that. Like I said, it's a little overwhelming right now. There's only so many hours in the day, and I got a lot of stuff going on. I got to get a big weekly purchase. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for an automobile. So I got to, my company, I think I talk about it in the podcast this week, but long story short, my company cars are going away. We got to buy our own car, so I got to find something that I want to buy. We'll see what happens. What do I need? A Lambo, Todd? Do you recommend the Lamborghini? The Ferrari? Maybe. I was thinking like a Jeep Compass. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But that's round number 2 of weekly purchases. Let's bring on round number 3. All right, here we are with round number 3, the final round. This is always the round that separates the men from the boys. That's what I've always said, and that's what we're doing right here. Once again, go to our friends over there at Jay's Toys and Games. Got the Magic the Gathering Spider-Man team up. Not sure what I think about this. Now, pro tip out there, these are available at Jay's Toys and Games right now. You can save 15% on these. 15%, as I said. I'm not just shilling here. I'm going to give you a pro tip. Now, this card in here, selling for like $40 on eBay. So guess what? You sell this card, pays for the figure. That is my plan. I'm going to sell this card out of here, keep the figure. I don't know Magic the Gathering. I don't understand Magic the Gathering. I have no use for that card, but I have use for the figure. So if I can sell this card to pay for the figure, and also get a couple of dollars in my pocket, money ahead on that one. So pro tip, head over to Jay's, get some free money, get a free figure at the worst. Spider-Woman right here. Of course, Mary Jane, Iron Spider, I guess more officially here. Mary Jane is the Iron Spider. The one I'm the most excited about here, of course, is J. Jonah Jameson's son, Man-Wolf, right here, looking very cool. Love me a werewolf, love me a hairy bipedal creature, and also Agent Anti-Venom. So that is the Magic the Gathering set. Once again, you sell all these cards, you get that money back. Pro tip, if I ever heard one or ever said one. How about that? Now we're going back to Target. Target resets hitting. This one caught me at a weak moment as well, but for only $15 a pop, not a bad deal. I don't mind a crossover sometimes, especially when it's a monster crossover, especially for the Halloween season. We got Mikey King Ghidorah right here. This is the Godzilla Turtles crossover. Raph Rodan, one of the all-time villains. And then we got Leo Godzilla. How crazy is that one there? So very cool to see these. It looks like Donatello is one of these, and I'm missing the Donatello, so I'll have to be on the lookout for that. 1/12 scale, it does say, but an interesting subline, no doubt about it. So I do like the looks of those. And then the hits keep on coming at Target. Of course, my pre-order was canceled just to find it at the store. It is He-Man Skeletor, the special anniversary pack, 40th anniversary, Target exclusive on this one. So be on the lookout for your Targets. If you're watching this on Sunday when this video drops, this is part of the reset. So the next week or two, your Target should be getting a lot of this stuff. So be on the lookout for it. You know how that goes. Also, I got an interesting one. I got an email from NECA that said your reward points are going to expire. And I'm like, what reward points? What the heck? So I logged in. And guess what? As you can imagine, I have a lot of NECA reward points. So I'm like, cool, I can use these towards figures. Well, unfortunately, it's not any figures. They have a list of old stock, as you can imagine. And everything was basically sold out. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So the only thing I could find, I had everything on there. So that was unfortunate. And I said, what could I actually use here? And I did find something I could use, or I may give it away. What did I get? I got the Steel Clan Robot Army Builder Gargoyle figure. Now, I think I have 2 or 3 of these already in my collection. Now, Gargoyle figures, I have all of them from NECA. I have not unboxed any of them on the channel. One of these days we'll get around to it. Maybe we just never will. I'm not sure. I think at this point, nobody cares about Gargoyle unboxings. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't. I'm not sure. But I did get the Steel Clan. I figured for free, which really wasn't free because I had to pay like $10 shipping, but still $10 for a NECA figure. Can't beat that. So I did use my free points. Maybe you got them too. Check out NECA's website. But I did also check out the Jazzwares Vault sale. 50% off over there at Jazzwares. I think that is over now. But I did mention in the unboxing of these 2 figures, I said, you know what? I might pick up another one just to have to swap some heads and move some body parts around. And that's what my plan is, at least with Jay and Mark Briscoe, Jazzwares Vault, ringside. Well, they probably will be on ringside. So look for those. So with code Kyle, save 10%. But $30 for these 2 figures I thought was fair. I know a lot of people picked up that Sting box set. I got it when it was like 25% off, so I didn't do as well. And unfortunately, I got that AEW Ospreay coming. Not unfortunately on that, but I guess I ordered another Sting set at full retail from that. I didn't even realize I did that. So gonna have an extra Sting set, which isn't the end of the world either. And now we conclude round number 3, the final round of weekly purchases, with a special care package this week from over at Collect Major. Of course, Collect Major, big rubber guys, Major All-Stars, the Bendies, we know what they're doing, but they do have New York Comic Con coming around the corner, and they got exclusives. And I got the Major All-Stars, Matt and Brian, 1 of 300 edition. So I did get both of those through the door. I'm going to leave these ones in the package. Now, we unboxed these on the channel, Series 1. I'm going to leave these in the package is my plan. Uh-oh, if I don't drop them. But we do have these through the door. But the one I was more excited about, you know what I like. I like a good big rubber guy. I like a guy full of rubber. And we did get the 1 of 500 Brian Myers. How about that through the door? I'm here for this one. Looking very, very good. Excited to get this one in my collection. So happy to have this. We will unbox this one. This will be available on Collect Major, of course, after New York Comic Con here in a week or so. So if they have any left after the con, you'll be able to buy both of these, the All-Stars and this, on their website as usual. So there it is. That is the weekly purchases. A huge, huge week. A lot to dive into, a lot to get into here on the channel. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to both YouTube channels so you can see the unboxings of this and all other points in between. If you got a question, you want to be question of the week, stick it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Always helps the channel when you like and subscribe. Hopefully you guys have done all that. Check out Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Once again, free giveaway going on. So if you want a chance, just sign up for the Patreon. Link in the description down below. Check out the podcast with Angie, of course, the mail girl, Angie. She's over there on the Kyle Peterson Show each and every Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. So that's it. Another week of weekly purchases. And you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another work week.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?